Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is me, Dixie T, and man, it has been a while. It's been over a week, and I was, gone and such, family reunion and everything else. Uh, it's you know been a couple of interesting days, and it's nice to go and been on vacation to basically recharge the batteries, which is always a good thing. It's always a good thing to actually to relax and to actually just to relax a bit, reconnect with family. We're now a family reunion. It was, it's nice to reconnect and do that sort of thing. And I honestly think it's best if we all, most people do that. It's best if you do that. It's best for business. It's best to reconnect with family and to see people you haven't seen in a while. And I suggest you guys do it the same. Not as family reunion or whatever. Just go say hi to people. Just go talk to the person or cousin you haven't talked to in a while. It's nice to do that. You know what I mean? Anyway, what a couple days, huh? Well, I was actually there's been things I have been waiting for this year. I've been really waiting for Mighty Number Nine. Yeah, I'm gonna get into this. Mighty Number Nine. This game from let's see, Mighty Number Nine. This was supposed to be uh, the game that is going to be one of the most highly talked about games. It was one of the most looked at. People were like saying, "Man, they can't wait to have this game." I donated to the Kickstarter. I put $20 into it. I can wait to this game to finally to play it from Kinjay Inafune. If I mispronounce his name, I apologize. I was so hyped for this game, and it was just something that I really was going to look into. And it's a shame that this game is not going to come out in the year, and a lot of people are pissed off at it. A lot of people are pissed because they were expecting after another. I mean, this game was going to come out I think earlier, but it's so late. Okay, let's wait a while. The game and people were planning for this. It was September. It's gonna be right there. People were hyped up for it, and well, it's been delayed, and it's been delayed, and now it won't be released until sometime next year, Q1 of next year. That can be January, February, March, or whatever. So this is and part of me agrees with this because hey, you want a game to be completed and done because you don't want to have something like a Batman Arkham Knight situation or Arkham Origins which was a completely crap show, and they didn't fix all the bugs. They just patched and all that type of stuff. I mean, and I think this is something bad about our gaming culture right now, and where games have been released, especially in the AAA market, is that you have games that are not completed. They like, well, we'll just patch it in later, where everything will be fine. It's and it all was happening in PC, but now with games you can actually have patches downloaded and everything else. It's gone to more it's a more vicious cycle and such, and it's a shame. So many games, just like just wait a while. I mean, and honestly, games that I think was truly rushed. Like, I mean, what? I don't love. I really enjoy Mass Effect 3, and I'm replaying it right now. Um, I have to say, there are some things that looked rushed, and it looked like graphics were not as weren't polished. I mean, you have Commander Shepard looking like this way, that way, characters just floating around. I'm like 2012. It's just like this game should have been in the oven a little bit longer. You know what I mean? This game should have been in the oven a little bit longer. I understand there's gonna be some bugs, but come on. It just I'm not even talking about the ending. It's just you just gotta put that thing in the oven a bit. Put that in the oven. Well, wait, I would have been fine if they would have said, okay, we want to put this ideas, and they get these very piss poor. I mean, the whole graphics and such, and the online multiplayer, all that type of stuff, which was connected to the main, which I think was a bit of a good idea. I like the idea of that, but uh, it was not really implemented well. It wasn't implemented. I can't pronounce words. I apologize. Was it implement? It wasn't put in well. It wasn't well. It didn't really mesh with the game that much. I like the idea of it. Master 3D multiplayer connecting with the single player with the alliance readiness, but it's not really didn't really do well. I mean, my highest I got up to 100 once a time, but it falls down and heck, it's like no one there. 50%, which there's no one there doing it right now. It's pretty much that. I talked to one guy, one person who was doing it, and that was it. And that was like a week ago. That the whole community is basically gone. Okay, it's gone. So, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, Mighty Number Nine. Um, I think this. A lot of people who are going to be talk about this are probably pissed off. I mean, I know there's some people who are upset about this, and I can understand the frustration of Mighty Number Nine. Uh, I mean, I think over at Neil F, some people and saying, I think it was Neil Gaff Forums. I'll put the link in the description. Says they are going to be officially, um, some fans um, are probably pissed off and everything else. uh, yeah, a lot of people saw this coming, and some people are wanting their money back, and then supposedly some of the internal staff did not know about. This is to me, this is getting up to levels of TNA levels of not, of incompetence here, which is, a lot of people are, and he's ruining your trust and everything. And now you have the Red Ash Kickstarter, which didn't really go into, which I think Jim Sterling went into pretty well in this video, and I'll put that link in the description there. This is getting, it's sad. I just, again, I want a game that I could really, I mean, I put money into this game. I get $20 to the Kickstarter, and I feel like I was like robbed. I feel like it was a betrayal, betrayal. Now I feel like I should have put that money to a SWAT Cats Revolution Kickstarter. It's still going, by the way. I already passed its goal. I might, dang, I should you know, by the way, I'll put a link in that description, by the way. Um, it's almost at its first utter goal, by the way. Swatch Cat's Revolution. It's always, you know, almost at thruster funding, 100,000. Production of a 2-minute animation teaser to establish a look. And honestly, I'm hoping, but I know it's a long shot, but you never know. Mega Blast funding, 1,500,000, 1.5 million to do a streaming movie, which would be awesome. I would love that. Come on, who would not love that? Yes, that would be great. Link in the description if you want to go and back. By the way, they already got through their goal, which, by the way, that's the show that people need to go. If you haven't, you know what? If you haven't watched the show, you should. It's, I think the DVDs are out there. I might actually do a review of it. This is a celebration of this thing. That'd be fun if I have time over in August and such. Heck, I might just do that. I was planning to do Mighty Number Nine. I was planning to do a Mighty Number Nine review in September, but since this has happened, I will take a look at the SWAT Cat series. You know, I'll bite through that, while you're in school and everything else. Before I go to Comic Con and everything else, I will take a look at the SWAT Cat series, and something like spread awareness how awesome that is. But anyway, yeah, this is just disappointing. You know, it's just again my number nine, something I really wanted to succeed, and it has failed. But then again, such is life. Anyway, I'm gonna take a small little break here, and that was depressing. But that we'll have some more happy stuff soon. Next up, we're gonna be not really happy stuff, more rage. I'm gonna talk about the latest episode of Monday Night Raw, um, and everything else. We're gonna talk a little about that, and also the late great Roddy Piper, and yeah, talk about that as well. We'll be right back right after this here on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me here on TalkShoe.com and also on the other various platforms you're listening to right here. Anyway, what music am I going to be playing? What should I play to really get this hyped up or something? Something a little more moody and such. So, yeah, I'm going to play something like that. So, anyway, we're right back right after this. Thank you so much for joining me here live on the Dukect Lounge. And the next thing we're going to be playing is, let's see, is from Serious Monkey Business. It's from OC Remix, Donkey Kong Country 2. Very, 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 very awesome game. A really cool soundtrack. Great OC Remix stuff too. So we're going to be playing to this, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Anyway, it's Duke CT here. Right back right after this. Back live here on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me here on TalkShoe.com and also on Zipcast.com, YouTube/Dukect, ScrewAttack.com, see on Freaking Awesome Network, Manic Expression, and other places and such I need to get back into. Maybe, oh yes, and on the Cheshire Cats, the CCS ones, where the Cheshire Cat Studios podcast and such. Maybe one day I'll get on there and do some things. Unless y'all want me, if you ever want me to be on that podcast, give them a little ring up there. Just don't be dicks about it. Just say, you want Duke CT to be a part of the CCS podcast and family. Just get a little nut right there. A little something for the fans. Come on, a little something. Anyway, let's talk about some WWE and yeah. First off, we have to talk about Roddy Piper and man. It just happened a week. It was actually on Saturday. I can't believe that happened on Saturday. I was gone. on vacation, relaxing, and everything else. And um, I just heard um, him just yeah, I just it blew my mind. I was like, what? Roddy Piper? It was actually the 31st. And it's shocking. I was like a little bit shocked about that because, I haven't seen him in a while, and his Piper's Pit always was controversial. He was, always this fiery guy and everything else. I wasn't around in his real heyday. I was really aware. I barely remember him back in the 90s and such. I mean, his match with Bret Hart, I didn't watch it as a little kid. I was more introduced him to the WCW when he took on Hulk Hogan. I honestly think he should have won the world title just for a month, just for a week, just to see. Yeah, he was the one to take down Hogan. Have him choked down. He choked him out with the sleeper, by the way. Which that move needs to come back. I mean, I love all the stuff, the red arrows and the lethal injections and I'm talking to an old person, like well you're with your and your J drillers and everything else in between, all that stuff and your underdogs and everything. But it was some type of it was nice to actually just choke a person out, just choke a guy out. And it's like, yeah, I knocked you out and just made it in the most painful way possible. You're struggling to breathe and just slowly but surely you can grab the ropes, you can do anything, and just you can't do anything and you'll just fade away. Slowly but surely and fade away and boom, the match is over. I have no idea why they can't bring that back. And it's easier, it's a lot better than just, all this type of stuff. It's just hey, I wish they could bring that back. And leave some in the comments if y'all want to bring that move back. Anyway, um, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Roddy Piper. Yeah, and the one thing I do remember him, my real memories is his um run with the tag belts. Actually, he won the tag team championship with Ric Flair, believe it or not, in '04. And I think he had to drop him because he had cancer, and he did. He beat cancer. And you thought he was going to get. I thought it was nice, but then again, I think it was a year or two before, he said, I think he had a Real Sports interview, and he's like, I know I'm not going to make it past 65 because of his drug use and everything else. I really thought he was going to make it. I thought he was going to make it. I thought that Roddy Piper was going to make it, but sadly he didn't. And you know, it really does. It's just depressing to see someone like him, and now you have Dust. I mean, just man, 2015 just really just sucks, man. I know, I mean, people, it's not. I mean, come on. I mean, every year, I mean, famous people, people who are well known and such die. Every people are known and well known die every day. I mean, sometimes it happens. Whatever. I mean, you just, it happens. But yeah, it just seems like people. But it just really hurts the most because we grew up with these guys. They are the paternal aunts and uncles. These people you're like you feel like you know them even though you don't, and it just hurts. It really hurts that these guys and gals and people you are just like you feel like you have a connection to. You grew up with them, and now they're not here anymore. It's sad, but you have to find the strength to move on and become strong and such, and and look because they left a body of work that will be remembered for all time. And remembering looking at Roddy Piper winning the Intercontinental Championship, title that used to matter. But anyway, not to disparage the Ryback and everything, don't worry, and everything else. It's just a shot at the WWE booking team, which I will get to later after this somber thing. But yeah, the Intercontinental title when people really cared about it back then. Him doing all this stuff. When I mean, he just felt like not only winning his championships and matches, but also his promos. I mean, his later stuff. How about him and Chris Jericho saying "old school's cool" promo? Him with John Cena, the later stuff in Piper's Pit with John Cena. Heck, him when he taking on Rock, he slapped a taste. I mean, you felt like there was always something there for him. He always brought this intensity, his this rage and fire with him, and it's something that it's going to be really missed. And that was really just one of a kind. A lot of people say this guy, that guy, but no, there was no one ever be close to or anyone near uh, the Roddy Piper. No one's gonna be there. And I know Roddy Piper is on W Network. There's W Network just put on a show with like three three people talking about the old school days and everything else. Kind of like a roundtable, it's like Legends Roundtable, which I'm surprised it's not on the W Network. I don't know if it is. I gotta look that up. But yeah, it feels like that seems like this that was the last bit of WWE footage of him. But there's so much of a backlog and such with Roddy Piper that fans will always remember and look at it. W Network or not. That was long and exhausting. Anyway, we're gonna take another little break here, and I'm gonna take a look at let's see what else. Something that is a little more upbeat. We'll talk about John Cena and how just it's not really it just feels like John Cena is getting a little no love. You know what I mean? He's getting a lot of more hate, and I'm gonna be talking about this um, next after this little song, and I'm going to be talking. You know what? Um, where is it? Where is the song? Oh, let's see. Solace. I haven't played this in a while. Yes, going to play a little bit of Old Korea Time Solace OC remix. We'll be right back um, after this song, and hopefully you enjoy it. Thank you so much for listening here live on the Dukect Lounge. We'll be right back right after this.
Outside on the corner where I caught the bus, thinking in my head it's colder than I thought it was. Sometimes life is like that, and you just quiver your lips, whisper a wish, hoping someone might give us deliverance. Now deliver this message, think I could live with this mess if you could just give a few seconds to come and sit in my presence. And yes, it is so precious, yes, it is a blessing. Next, I'll attempt to express it with every heavy breath, cause just to make it worth it, and just to make it real, you always made it perfect, and that's the way I feel. Sometimes we think too much, and we lose control, but it's not what you know, no, it's who you know. Days that will not end, I'm sure you've had them too, wishing you're still in bed, and yet we have to move. This is what passion do, this is what passion does. It's on my planets too, start sending back the love. Snowflakes fell like a gift from
And we're back live here on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me here on TalkShoe.com. Also, if you want to call in the show, if you are listening live from whatever you are, remember, boys and girls, the number is 724-444-7444. What's good? The number is 724-444-7444. And the call ID to connect to me, Duke CT, is 92417. Once again, the call ID is 92417. Now, let's talk about Monday Night Raw this past week. There was some good stuff and some bad. Yeah, you know the prime time players being so great on the commentary. Just what? I think I'll go with OTRS. I don't want to bite on them too much, but they said this in a review. Said what? Let's have Titus O'Neil and Titus O'Neil and let's see. Let's see, who was the guy who was uh no, dang, my brain is just gone. Why can't I remember? It's not Kofi, it's not Big E, it's who's that last member of the New Day? And I don't care. I gotta look this up right now, and it is okay. It's let's see. Let's see. Dang it, where is let's see, it's Xavier Woods. There it is. You know what? Yeah, Xavier Woods and Tyler on commentary will be actually more interesting and fun than the chuckleheads there. I don't care for Ryan Saxon. He's mediocre. But then again, Beast in the East, he did show some really good stuff. Maybe I'll review that in September. Hmm. Um, sheesh. Michael Cole's Cole, and JBL has worn out his welcome far too long. And I'm like, hey, give Xavier Woods a title so now would be actually a lot more fun. Anyway, but other than that, I really it wasn't really a memorable Monday Night Raw. Sure, you have your what happened with Cesaro and Owens, fun, but what else? Oh, the beginning of the program after the Roddy Piper 10 bell salute, you had Seth Rollins, uh, just complete, bragging about the knee basically injuring Cena to a point that he had to get emergency surgery. Wasn't really malice and such. It was just, dude just had broke his nose. But yeah. And he got injured, and the crowd was like chanting, "Thank you, see, thank you, Rollins." Like, and he has a new show. I'm like, they were chanting that. And I'm like, I just got really sick of that. And honestly, the only people to blame in this whole situation is right back to Vince. And it shows to me that when people are cheering your babyface getting your top babyface, Vince is getting cheered when his nose was blood and he had to get emergency surgery, and the crowd is basically cheering for that. They're saying, yes, that's awesome. It's time to look into some other things to do with this character. But then again, the character of John Cena has been well assassinated. I mean, if he Vince really gave an iota and cared about it, really gave, really cared one iota about John Cena's character. I'm not talking about John Cena man. John Cena man is awesome. You know, as I see and everything else. But John Cena the character, I think in '06, '07, not a heel turn, but just his whole debut. I think if he would have lost to Christian, I still say this. If he would have lost to Christian way back in, I think it was '05, I believe, have him lose at, like, say, SummerSlam, have a good long, have him be in the mid card for a while, I think get the stink off or something, not force it down his throats. He wouldn't be in this situation, WWE. It wouldn't be in a situation where you're losing, your audience is down. It's getting less and less and less and less and less. And Cena's going to be presiding as long as he has been on top since '05, over a decade. And if it continues this way, you can put all the belts and accolades on John Cena, but he will be the person right there. I mean, Hogan was, in the '80s, was part of the whole rock and wrestling. I know you don't want to mention Hogan because of what happened, but yeah, he was the main guy. Um, the '90s, you had the Attitude Era, you had The Rock, Austin, Kane, Undertaker, all these other crazy stuff. But then you had Ruthless Aggression era, and then you had this era right now, which is supposedly the reality era. And in the reality era, basically you're losing more audiences. Your age demo, which the average age of your shows, the people who watch your shows, WWE is around 41 years old. This is not a good thing, and you've been losing ratings ever since this year, since before WrestleMania, and it's you know the way you booked and the way you presented your product has been directly, including the way you done John Cena. People say, well, he has great matches. That's nice and all. Great matches are really going to poke people in, but what's the story behind them? What is the purpose behind them? If you're just going to have a good match, a great match, that's nice. But let's see the story. What's the point? What is the story behind John Cena these US? I mean, the only thing that's close to it was the whole Owens thing, and honestly, I felt like the whole Owens feud. That first match was, I honestly think it was probably one of the best of the year, and then there's some rematches, which is just, big spot, 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 with no type of we'll call it. There's nothing there. It has drove people away from your product. Heck, honestly, I'm not really feeling anything with the WWE at this point. I'm getting numb to it. In fact, I'm really considering at this point, why should I have my WWE Network subscription now? Because honestly, it just seems like it's more of the same. Nothing is really matters. There's no real punch to your product anymore. And then when you look at what John Cena has gone through over the years, and I went back to John Cena, the way you booked him, the way you had his character makes absolutely he's this honestly, when you look at his character over the years, I mean, he's booked as the Superman, the Boy Scout, but honestly, I wouldn't see that he is. I mean, he's known to shown to be a hypocrite. I mean, I remember his Nexus, the whole Nexus thing. Say, he looked like he was going to finally walk away and everything else, but then he kept coming back and making them look like a Lester, saying, Cena was going to go and everything else. But nope, looks he's more of a hypocrite. He says that he's basically a hypocrite, and his whole dumb jokes and everything else, his Star Wars jokes and everything. Ugh. It gets to the point when you have a character who is just solely richly hated and booed to a point that they are cheering for his actual injuries, actual real life injuries. Even when he's basically having probably the best series of matches. Honestly, one of the high points of your program being the United States champion, and John Cena is still looked on as probably one of the worst things about your show. You screwed up. You screwed up royally. And honestly, I don't know who's really at this point. I don't know what the solution is. If you get rid of you put Cena in the mid card, now he's back, doing the whole title for title thing, which is basically a runoff of the whole more successful Raw, also Lethal versus Briscoe. So basically, when you have Cena saying, "You make the title, that the title doesn't make you," I'm like, no. You're the only reason why you got the United States Championship because it was hot shotted to you. No, hot shot. But the reason why you there is basically make this U.S. title relevant. And honestly, if the WWE booked it right, you wouldn't have guys who are just like Daniel Bryan or John Cena stopgapping. Like, if they were actually booked the divisions of the Intercontinental mid card divisions, make them seem important, actually make them feel like a part of the show, more part of the show, instead of like, like, oh, we gotta get this outfit. Why don't you put them on the main event? Talk about the stuff. Make them more contendership matches. Do the stuff that you actually did with the United States Championship when John Cena holding the U.S. title, that they put the U.S. Championship match in the main event with him and Cesaro, and I'm like, why couldn't you do this when Rusev was holding the belt? Why couldn't you do this when Wade Barrett was holding the Intercontinental title? What was the reason? I want to hear a good reason for that, but no, we don't. We do not hear a good reason for having this thing put together. We don't have it. But yeah, it's the WWE's own fault. It's the WWE's own personal things that put their stuff into the situation. It's their own bed. They made this power thumbtacks, and now they're gonna get power drived into it. Yes, they're using Cactus Jack references right now. And speaking of characters who are completely insane and crazy, who have no care of any type of human life, let's talk about Deadpool. Haha, interesting segue. Because the Deadpool trailer for the movie has come out, and since Fox is making it and such, a lot of trepidation. I mean, they just released a Fantastic Four movie that a lot of people are not liking. Some people are saying it's okay, some people it's not, but a lot of people are saying, yeah, this is not really a good movie. I might see it, but looks like I'm just gonna move on. I might just see uh, the Tom Cruise Mission Impossible, which I heard a lot of good stuff about that. Yeah, I'm gonna probably watch that. But anyway, Deadpool's trailer, fun, looks great. It feels like it fits the character right. Ryan Reynolds really shines here. I like his little quip against Green Lantern. Says, "Run my superhero costume. I don't want it green or animated." Shots fired at Warner Brothers and Green Lantern. Which, by the way, why did they not make a full-on suit for him again, please? I don't understand. And why was Green Lantern majority focused on Earth? Someone tell me that. Why? I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, the movie looks great. It looks really nice. The humor seems to be on point. Deadpool, the costume looks great. The humor is very, very Deadpool. Um, just in the violent stuff. And I like the fact they pushed as an R movie because I don't think you can ever put kids in this. Deadpool is bloody, violent, and he's the merc with the mouth. He's a mercenary, so I think it's going to be, uh, yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, they can't do a PG or PG-13 version of Deadpool. That would be just terrible. But honestly, it looks really good, and I mean, heck, Fox can make a good superhero movie. X Men Two, uh, First Class, most of X Men's Days of Future Past. But hey, they can do it. They can do it, and if they keep this thing up, I know rated R movies don't get much, money and such, but maybe they can get some money in this, and hopefully become not only a good movie but also something that can actually continue on. But hey, that's just my personal opinion. Anyway, hey, we did end on a positive note. Also, this show has been a little long. It's almost an hour. But I'll cut it up into some interesting little pieces and such, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me here on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much. Oh, and the guest too. Jeez Louise, Newswire. Why is this happens to me? I have no idea. But hey, I'm black, by the way, guest too. You have to realize that. News or I'm not gonna give his website. Jeez Louise, racism, people. I don't care for that stuff. Not on my show. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me here live on TalkShoe.com. Thank you so much for listening. If you're listening on the iTunes, thank you so much. Email me if you think it's good. The email is DukecTProductions.com. DukecTProductions at gmail.com. If you want to talk to your comics and criticisms and everything else, or requests, or anything else, or if you want to do any cool fan art or whatever, I'll drop down there. You can hopefully you'll listen to this on YouTube, Screw Attack, CCS Podcast Forums, the Escapist Forums, FreakinAwesomeNetwork.com. Uh, let's see, Manic Expression, also YouTube, and Zipcast.com. Hopefully, you guys loved the podcast tonight, and hopefully, you will continue listening my mad ramblings. Anyway, thank you so much for listening, watching if you're watching the video, or doing whatever while you're doing, your whole routines and such. Hopefully, my soothing tone is actually quite pleasing. Anyway, thank you so much for doing what you're doing. It's Duke CT here. Peace, love. I'll see y'all when I see y'all later.